those that are watching after the fact, I hope you are absolutely killing it in the beginning of this year. I'm excited, you guys, today to share a topic that is going to absolutely change the trajectory of your life. There is a real reason why most real estate agents are on the struggle bus. And it's because they're asking the wrong question. They're asking the question whether they know it or not, which is why me? That why me question might show up in the form of, why are interest rates so high? Why is inventory so low? Why are my leads so bad? Why are my buyers liars? Why are my sellers unreasonable? Why do my teammates suck? Like, those questions are why me questions. Those questions will keep you from the life that you want. Today, we're going to talk about that. And the question you should be asking, which is, what if? What if? When you start to ask that question, your world goes from contracting, which happens when you ask the why me question, to expanding, which is what happens when you ask the what if question. Again, today we're going to explore those two questions and how you can move from one to the other and the follow-up steps that actually create momentum for you and your business. This is the episode that you're going to need to listen to get your business up and running and maximize your potential in 2023. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. So the why me question, as I mentioned before, this shows up in different forms. All the different things that are wrong, that you feel are wrong and that are keeping you back, are actually stealing your dreams. They're stealing your future. They're keeping you from living the life that you otherwise could. Let me give you an example. When you say to yourself, my leads are bad, my leads suck, okay? Like these leads are not good. You're saying, future dreams that I have for 2023, here, I'm going to give them to bad leads. And this inanimate object called a lead just took your dreams. You gave your power away to that thing. Isn't that sad? Doesn't that sound awful? It absolutely should sound awful because it's not good, right? That's not how we want to live. That's not, we don't want to give our biggest dreams away to something that actually doesn't matter. Now, I want you to take note, take stock of the things that you're giving away, right? Take stock of the things that are keeping you from your dreams, because those things it doesn't have to be that way. It just doesn't. Instead, we can start to pivot to the question of what if. Now, let me take you down a little lane here. I want you to, not memory lane, this is your future lane. And I want to ask yourself the question. I want you to ask yourself the question, what if coming into my account every single month, I had more commission than what I needed? What if I had more commission coming into my account every single month than even for things that I want? What if I had enough commission coming into my account every single month that I could actually take care of my future wants, that I can invest in such a way that I knew that I would be taken care of with passive income, that I would be taken care of, the people who I love the most in life would be taken care of, and the causes that I love most would be well-funded? What if? Right? When you start to ask that question, your mind starts to open up. Now, you might be saying, Justin, that's a little far, like that's a bit of a tall order, right? Can you slow it down here a little bit? I want you to think of it this way, is that you can absolutely have it. Everything that you want in your life, if that sounded really good, somebody else has already created it. Somebody else has already done it. This isn't like Edison inventing the light bulb. Like you have to realize that other people have done what you want to do in this business called real estate. And when you move off of the question of why me and to the question of what if, our possibilities start to expand. Now, those who know me well know that the definition of thinking bigger, right, is to live in such a way that we're pursuing our potential. We're living and giving and serving abundantly. Okay, that's what this is about, is helping you get unstuck to see and then pursue your biggest potential. That's what this is all about. Once we have realized, you know what, I am saying why me a lot. I didn't think of it that way because I didn't actually hear it coming out of my mouth with those exact words. But all of this victim mentality of like other things are keeping me from where I want to go. Though that when you start to have that realization and start to say, okay, let me just simply replace that of what if? What if I loved all my buyers? What if my sellers were totally reasonable? What if interest rates didn't impact me? What if inventory didn't impact me? What if I had enough sellers? I didn't care if certain sellers were unreasonable. What if I have enough of buyers that I could fire the liars, right? I could actually work with the ones only that I wanted to. Like when you get rid of the why me and you move to the what if, your world starts to change in an instant. Now, in order to continue the change, you can't just sit around and ask questions all day. Okay. You actually have to get to work. So there are three primary reasons why real estate agents don't live this way. Okay. Reason number one is they've never been taught. Well, after today, you can't say that anymore. I taught you. It's over, right? Like it's over. Now you know how to be aware of that question. The second reason, again, why most real estate agents don't live this way is because their inputs are inconsistent. You see, when your inputs are inconsistent, your outputs become inconsistent. You and I both know that's true. Your outputs become very inconsistent and your confidence becomes very inconsistent. So there's a direct correlation. It's input, output, confidence. You can ask good questions and have affirmations all day long, but if your results don't back it up, your subconscious will call you a phony, and that's what actually you believe. So you have to get results. And the only way to get results is to actually execute consistently. So now we take the what if question and we apply it to this input game, this consistency game. We say, okay, I know how to play this game now. What if I were absolutely consistent because I love the way that I generate new business? What if my clients came to me by referral as opposed to me having to chase them? What if I knew exactly what time of what day that I was going to be doing the activities that would give me the plan? What if I had such a clear vision of my future that inspired me and I looked at it every day and then I rolled directly to the plan, and the plan led me to know exactly what it took to get that dream? What if, right? What if all of those things were in place? And what if I could look at a dashboard and I could see exactly where I was at relative to my goals? And what if I knew, again, at specific days and times, what activities, and what if I loved doing those activities and it was not a burden for me? What if, right? Now, when we start to think about that, we start to think about the what ifs on the other side of it. It's like, oh my goodness, this is amazing, right? I really like the sound of this, because now not only are we dreaming about our possibilities, but we're dreaming about how we can actually make those inputs work. Let me share with you something here really quickly that I've created. For those of you, maybe some of you have seen this before, maybe some of you haven't, but I want to share this with you, because as soon as we start asking those questions, again, we come to realize that not only has somebody created the big dreams that I want, but they've also created the systems to allow the inputs to be consistent. Okay, they've actually created that part of it as well. So I want to share with you here. If you're watching my screen, you'll see, again, the three biggest reasons why real estate agents don't live this way. Number one, because they've never been taught how. Okay, now you have. Number two is because they're inconsistent in their inputs, which makes them inconsistent in their outputs. Okay, those are the first two reasons. And number three is because they don't have the right environment, models, tools to help them to do that. Okay, we start to realize, like, we can have like this vision that we ultimately want that's inspiring to us, the plan that gets us to that vision, right? The activities that help us to fulfill that plan, and the results. All of these things that we want down here, all of these results stem from us being really good at the consistent activities, knowing a clear plan, being inspired by a vision that we ultimately are creating. When we start to realize that that is the path for us to get from where we are to where we want to be, then we can simply say, okay, well, how do I get not just the results, but how do I get the consistent activities? Let me share with you something else here that we've created that will show you exactly what could be possible for you. This is a template for you to have a vision where you have the biggest dreams, the biggest, most inspiring things that you want to create right here in front of you. Then we have the blueprint, which tells you exactly what your business needs to look like to create that life. Then we have a dashboard that tells us exactly where we're at to date, right? This is just a template, of course. And then we have exactly where we're at with immediate feedback. You see, most real estate agents, they don't have they're staring at their lag measures, which could be their closings and their commissions. And they're like, man, it's not as consistent as I want. And it's not going to be that consistent. It's not going to be that direct because there's a lag between your lag measures and your lead measures. So having a direct feedback loop every time you do the right activities, every time you do the right lead measures, keeps you going. It allows you to commit fully to the process. It allows you to completely devote yourself to falling in love with the process, knowing that the outcome will absolutely follow. So if you were to look at this again, imagine knowing exactly what activities you were to have at exactly what time. And that as you worked through your week, you were getting immediate feedback on these lead and lag measures to where you knew that you were doing enough of the right activities to actually expect results. These kinds of solutions in the environment that we've created at Think Bigger Real Estate to actually help you to have all of this, to have the clear vision, to have the plan, and be inspired by both of them, and to have the clear activities at what activities I'm doing at what time on what day, and have all of that in place in a very simple dashboard and tool set. Again, this is one of the things that start to show up for you when you start asking the right questions. Because again, other people have figured out solutions to helping you to get the dreams and the desires that you want. So in recap, the most important thing that you as a real estate agent can do is to be very aware of the why me question that might be running through your mind, and realize that it's taking your power away to create the life that you want. Then replace that with the what if question. What might be possible, not only in the outcomes, but in the inputs. And then focus on execution. Focus on actually creating consistent inputs, and reach out and find the tools, find the help, find the people that can help you to execute consistently. Because as soon as you do, your confidence will be grounded. Again, you can talk yourself up all day long, but if your results don't back it up, it's false belief, right? You're not going to have what it takes to sustain that. You actually need to have real results, and real results come from real consistent inputs. So find the tools. For those that are watching, I want to remind you that we are launching a new group in January that is going to have access to all of these tools to go through and create their clear vision in order to create their clear plan, to have the exact specific activities that they need to be doing at what times of each day. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, ooh, that sounds constricting. Like, I don't know if I want all that. Here's the reality that I want to share with you, is that oftentimes you think of like a funnel, right? Down here is where we're at, and we're putting ourselves kind of through this funnel, and it seems constricting. But what happens is that on the other side, there's abundance. Right over here, oh, you guys can't see this. So it seems like we're constricting ourselves, right? Because we're putting ourselves kind of in these narrow lanes of, I'm doing these activities at this time of day. But what happens is that when you come through that, all of a sudden abundance opens up for you. Whereas the opposite is also true. That if you say, I got all the free time in the world, right? All the free time in the world, where I don't have any constraints upon me, right? What happens is now you're put into a very narrow world because you didn't pay the price. You had all this freedom out here, right? Supposed freedom, false freedom. Now all of a sudden I've got major constrictions on my life. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough impact. Where we want to live is here. We put ourselves inside of systems, inside of processes that help us to create consistent inputs, which create consistent outputs, which gives us absolute abundance at that point. Again, if you have interest in getting this kind of help, reach out to me, direct message me, regardless of where you're finding this at. find me on social media, send me a direct message, just say, let's talk, and we'll set up a quick time to walk through if what we're doing for real estate agents will help you to have the right system in place so that you can have abundance in your life, which I know is why you got into this business. Appreciate everybody tuning into this episode. I look forward to connecting with you, and have a very, very happy new year. And for those that are listening to this in the new year, let's kill it. Keep killing it in 2023. Talk soon, guys.